these two slicksters over here are pretty much vacuuming out the chamber for us. Not only is she exposed to the vacuum of space, but we are also asking her to dive into a pool of disgusting water with, well, a scary looking fish inside of it. There we go. The thingy appears to be completely full. Now we disconnect it, right? And we go over here and we connect this one. So yeah, it would not be a proper base manager moment if I did not build the aqua tuners backwards. Hello there, I'm the base manager and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. Now, today is the day that we finally get the petroleum running, my friends. I'm pretty sure that in this episode we will get this system done. If we got all of this done, like in one episode, this is nothing. This is 5 cycles worth of effort, at least for these fantastic tubes. Now, there is still a few other things that need to be arranged before we can start shipping out the petroleum over there, like for example the pipage, which is just like atrocious, will need to be redone, and of course over here we still need to connect a few other things. Now, like I said in the last episode, we are going to use this dead area as storage for our fluids, or in this case for petroleum, and for the natural gas that we are going to receive from the other planet and from the refinery over here. Reason for that is, imagine this thing is full, then we cannot receive anything, so at least we'll have a small buffer over here for that eventuality. We also need to finish this one off over here. I don't think there is much that needs to be done, other than bringing a ginormous pipe through God knows where, until we reach this location. That is going to be interesting, I'm pretty sure. But in a moment, one problem at a time, right? Now, other than that, we also need the petroleum to get this thing operational, as it's going to serve both as a fluid to cool off the metal refineries, and also is one of the key ingredients in our fridge. Yep, we already have the ethanol here. We now need either crude oil or petroleum. Given that we are going to put petroleum over here, I think it's fitting to use that. And I like the smell of petroleum, so I'm pretty sure the dupes will enjoy having all of their food taste like that. I think if they don't, well, that's their problem. We are not the ones eating it. But yeah, we need to create a double fluid stack liquid lock over here. I really don't like making them, but it's the only thing that it's going to work over here, so I was not eager for this moment, let me tell you. But pretty much the idea is to do the same thing as we are going to do over here, stack 2 fluids on top of each other. That is going to create a seal, preventing oxygen from getting inside of the fridge. Inside of the fridge we are going to replace the oxygen with hydrogen, which is an inert gas. That way the food doesn't go off. You can either have carbon dioxide, hydrogen, chlorine, and I think those are it. But chlorine turns to liquid very quickly at very low/high temperatures. Like I don't know. At -30, I'm pretty sure it's the temperature that chlorine turns into liquid. Carbon dioxide suffers from a similar problem. However, hydrogen is like, yeah, it's pretty cool. So we are going to replace it with hydrogen over here, and that is going to keep our food preserved forever, which is going to be fantastic. Now, it would also be great if we could start getting the farmhouse going. I haven't focused too much on the farmhouse just yet because I want to have the fridge ready. We are going to start producing food at an industrial level. If we just use this, first the refrigerators would be filled up pretty quick, and then we would start wasting food, as you can see, stuff goes stale in here very slowly, but eventually it goes bad. So we kinda want to get the fridge rolling first before we do any sort of industrial food collection. Yeah, once this is done, this is absolutely the next project, because I don't feel comfortable with such a low amount of food. Not only that, I want that berry sludge going as fast as humanly possible, because I want to store up a bajillion of it. We are going to need it once we go into space, so we better just start making the stuff as soon as possible. And to get that stuff rolling, we need bristleberries and sleetweeds. We have conserved 4 specimens. There is still a few over here which are stale. Yeah, but they are kind of frozen, so hopefully we will be able to preserve them and then replant them over here, which is something that I can do right now, because this thing is already here, so why not just replant this thing, make sure that we have all the sleetweed that we are ever going to need, and then we take care of the rest of the stuff. Now, my friends, I am considering start using this area over here as a ginormous natural gas storage thingy, converting all of the tiles over here into airflow tiles, and then just closing it off, vacuuming it out, and then just start using it as storage. Now, that is going to have an impact on the performance of the game, which is already not perfect. As we can see over there on that top corner, the FPSs are starting to drop. In fact, over on this planet, I already ordered my dupes, whenever they don't have anything to do, to go around and pick up stuff. We are going to put all the stuff over here so that we can use the conveyor loader to start sending items back into the main planet, like stuff like egg shells, excess thimbleweed fibers, you know, cobalt. Cobalt will be nice. We are going to need a few cobalt thingies there. So yeah, having all the storage centralized over here, it's very useful indeed. But yeah, my friends, I will have to think about it a little bit. This is not going to be decided this episode, shall we say. Now, another thing is we need almost desperately to start thinking about the water situation, because if we go into our main water storage, we can see that things are not looking pretty. We almost consume half of the stuff that we had on the start of the last episode, which means that by the end of this episode we must have a solution, otherwise we are going to go completely dry, and that is not good. We can just start converting this water over here. It would not be that complicated. In fact, it would be probably the simplest solution. However, if we have the dupes to spare, you know, meaning they are not building anything, we should, you know, start digging out this area a little bit better, and thinking about a reclamation system, something that would separate the different kinds of water into their own individual tanks, and then would select the water that we have the most to convert into clean water to send to our main water tank over here. That system is a little bit complex on the automation front, and it requires a lot of space. And space is something that we are running short on. Yeah, like, this is going to be an interesting endeavor, because, well, this side is complete, this side is full. Even though it doesn't look full, it's going to be full, so yeah, we can't build it over here. So where the hell am I gonna where am I gonna fit that? Because I cannot fit it over here. This area is freezing cold. If I even attempt to do anything water related over here, it's going to go very wrong, very fast. So let's not even think about it. We need a warmer area to try to do these kinds of things. Now, over on this front, things are actually going pretty well. We are almost done over here. Most of the stuff that we have to do will be now outside of the chamber itself. So we just need to bring power and water, and this thing, well, it can start running whenever we feel like it. No. We will have to redo the pipes over here, because this thing is just disgusting. And we also need to start thinking about doing some carbon skimming over here, because the carbon dioxide is getting a little bit out of control. So, yeah, kinda want to get this done as well. Now, my friends, you want to know what the cool thing is? These two slicksters over here are pretty much vacuuming out the chamber for us. This thing is getting very low on carbon dioxide. Soon there will be nothing, and we haven't even started the gas pumps yet. All thanks to these two little brave soldiers. Unfortunately for them, their ending is almost here because, well, just the other cycle there was 8 grams of carbon dioxide and now there is like just a few milligrams, so I can only anticipate what is going to happen to them. Well, I said 5 cycles, it was more like 7, but still, this thing is now done. Just these few tiles missing. What is that? Nothing. Yeah, we are on the verge of just connecting the power, which is one of the final key ingredients. Now, the other ingredient would be the water. Now, for the water, we are going to bring it through a insulated pipe, insulated until it reaches this area, then it doesn't need to be insulated. We are also going to have a liquid shut-off over here. The reason for that is we don't want to have water stopped in the pipes in this area because of the temperature. Now, the temperature over here is not at tremendous, it's only 60 degrees, but once this thing starts rolling, eventually it's going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. So we use this hydro sensor to determine whenever we have too much crude oil. This is more than enough for a very long time, so if the level of the crude oil reaches this area, it's going to send a red signal to the liquid shutoff, which is going to prevent further water from getting inside. Then all the water inside of the pipe will be consumed by the oil wells until there is nothing. Once there is nothing, they will stop, everything will come to a halt, and that is going to be the end of it. Once this thing turns green because the crude oil has dropped below its level, then everything gets active once again until, you know, the same level is reached. But yeah, this is pretty simple and at the same time pretty effective at getting us what we need. It's just a little bit larger than usual, but the slicksters have been helping us vacuum this out, so the size of the chamber itself, it's not that relevant. We don't need space for anything on this planet. This is going to be almost one of the final things that we are going to build over here, and we still need to build a cooling loop, however, because we are going to try and take advantage of some of these geysers over here, so a cooling loop will be necessary, but to be honest, other than that, this planet is almost done for. Look at this, beautiful, isn't it? A full vacuum, simply by having two slicksters consuming all the carbon dioxide in here. You guys have done a tremendous job, but unfortunately, now you are a liability. Because, well, when these slicksters die, they are going to be turned into meat. Once the meat goes stale, it turns into rot, and that rot emits polluted oxygen. And we don't want to have that in here. Oh no, we don't. Well, my friends, this slug over here gave me quite the scare, so it was nighttime, I was just looking at this, and all of a sudden this thing comes online. I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell is going on? And then I look at this, potential consumed 1.5 kilowatts, and it's red, right? I thought to myself, oh no, the dupes built this thing connected to one of the other lines. That is terrible, so I spent like 3 or 4 minutes looking for the connection, and I could not find it. And the connection is the slug. Oh well, okay, thank you. You have opened the thingy before it was ready. Cool. We are now sending petroleum to the other planet without exactly wanting that to happen, but sure. Yeah, like, don't. Please stop doing that, okay? Oh well. Almost disaster. I'm glad I was looking at this, because otherwise we would have petroleum somewhere in this base, like God knows where, but oh, and we do have! Oh my god, those... I can't... Oh my lord, okay. Okay, I hate those slugs. That slug is going to die. Particularly that one. You! Oh boy, really? Okay. Now, unfortunately, this spec is a tad bit too big to, how should I put it? Mop? So we'll have to get rid of it some other way. So, how does one get rid of it? Well, we delete it, of course. We build one tile right there, one tile right there. We then build another tile over there, once these two are ready. And then we build diagonally into that spot, which is going to delete the thingy. Now we build like that one over there, very important. Hopefully we don't go overboard. Maybe let's not go overboard. Alright, so now this is connected for good. We are now sending the crude oil back into the planet because we want to and not because the slug decided it was a good idea. Let's connect the water now, and soon these oil reservoirs, these oil wells should be pumping out a bunch of crude oil. And would you look at them going, producing a bunch of oil. I don't think we are ever going to run out if we can keep supplying them with water, that is. Now, our water supply is not that great. As you can see, this thing is almost half, so how about we start converting a little bit more of this polluted water into clean water to be used, and then we'll need to find a way to resupply this water tank, because this water is going to go away pretty quick. There is still a few pockets of water to access left on the map, like for example this one, a pretty big, but I will access this one once we have some glass available to us to go and build a couple of solar panels. Right now I don't want to break into space just yet. So, finally we got another dupe that has an interesting interest. Max over here is an operator, Minma is a decorator and an operator. Now, Minma is pretty interesting, shall we say, because he's like, he likes operating and decorating, right? However, he has a Luddite with decreased machinery and unpracticed artist with decreased creativity. Sure, my friend, sure. No. Max over here, on the other hand, only has slow learner, which is decreased science. It also impairs the skill leveling a little bit, but over time, he's going to level up no problem. So, I think it would be better to hire Max, because he also starts with a tier 2 aesthetic design, which means he can start taking care of the thingies that we have available. When I say thingies, I mean large sculpting blocks that we have laying around. So maybe we don't have exactly the power necessary to run this thing. This thing is quite hefty on the power supply. As you can see, it consumes a lot. This setup can only provide 16... Okay. 1600 kilowatts. That thing consumes 14 and a half, so I was thinking maybe some glass would not be a terrible idea. Like, we just need maybe 3 solar panels and we would be covered for most of the time. 3 solar panels plus a couple of batteries should be all that we need in reality. So I was thinking, the same way that we have a metal refinery in a temporary setup over here, we could use this very cold water for our glass forge. We just need to make a few, well, not a few, maybe 1 ton of glass would be enough for what we need right now. So yeah, I think this is going to be good enough, and then we transfer all of these thingies into our industrial area once it is ready. Okay, so we have our first discharge of natural gas. Pretty cool. We can start sending that as well. I don't think I have this set up. No, I don't. Not that difficult. Give me 1 moment. Oh well, now, over on this side, we already have some petroleum being fabricated. They are sending it over here. I'm pretty sure this line is not yet complete. No, it's not, but it's just missing the final piece. As you are probably already aware, I always like to leave the final piece once I am sure that everything is as intended. But in any case, now we have the petroleum being sent over here. It's going to drop down into this place. This is not yet powered. That is a problem. Now, my friends, even though we have the petroleum over here, I'm not going to connect the petroleum generators to the main power grid just yet, because I came to the realization that this power plant is actually too strong. Yeah, what I mean by too strong is that this wire, the heavy watt wire, can only carry 20 kilowatts. Um, well, if the petroleum generators are upgraded, they can produce 3000 watts each. We have 10 of them, which means 30,000 watts of power, plus the 12 ones that we generate from the natural gas geysers, natural gas generators, I mean. That's 42 kilowatts of power. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, it's not going to be all full throttling all the time. That's why we are going to have automation to ramp up power production as need be. But still, if we get into a situation where we actually turn on all of the generators, we are going to burn our entire power grid, and that would not be good. No. So, for now, what we are going to do is we are going to set up the automation and everything, make sure everything is ready to roll. And if we, like for example, if we run into some fuel issues on this side, I will disconnect, I mean, if we don't have any fuel, they are not going to work. So I just connect one of them at a time and have them provide backup power as need be until we have enough materials to replace the heavy watt wire with heavy watt conductive wire, which can handle the 50 kilowatts no problem. So yeah, for now that's how things are going to go. Unfortunate, but I'm glad I noticed before bad things happened. Alright, my friends, so looking at this, the most important part is done, which was this thing, obviously. Now, there is still a few more improvements that need to be done. Uh, okay, like for example, our power production is not sufficient to keep this thing operating at full capacity, which means we will have to pierce into space and do some solar panel montage. But unfortunately, we don't have the glass, so we'll have to wait a little bit on that. Also, we need a far superior water source, as you can see a big chunk of the water that we had over here is already gone. Producing petroleum tends to use a lot of water. Usually, what I like to do is transfer the water from this planet into the next one. But first we needed a reclamation system operational, like the one we did in Season 1. I'm thinking about doing it this season as well. It's very, very useful. So yeah, our crude oil production might be in jeopardy for a little while, but we already have sufficient to kickstart everything that we need. We already have the petroleum ready to roll. Yeah, I think that we actually need to speed up the construction process of this thing to be complete, so that we can exchange is the sculpture, so that we can exchange power production facilities whenever it is necessary, and we can start piping the petroleum towards the industrial area, which is the final objective of that petroleum after all. That is going to be somewhat of a challenge, but how about I start laying the pipes, like, right now? Okay, my friends, so the petroleum is going to have quite a journey, I have to admit. So this is our main storage, right? From here we split it. Half goes towards the power plant, half goes towards the industrial area. The industrial area is not going to consume too much, so this pipe should back up relatively soon, which means that after that all the petroleum will go towards the power plant. The petroleum will have to go through here all the way over here, right? So this is quite a journey, if you ask me, and this area is still not built, but the piping is already confusing. What we can see over here is the piping for the industrial cooling loop, this one over here. This one is for future-proof. Usually we are going to do something that is going to require a cooling loop. When? I don't know. Okay, it's one of those things. You just want to have a cooling loop ready for whenever you feel like it. Usually this one, I think it's towards space. We are going to need something to exchange heat somewhere around here, and this cold is like nowhere sufficient once we start blasting rockets into space, so a cooling loop will be necessary. But yeah, that's for future me to deal with. we don't need to concern ourselves too much with that one. The main cooling loops that keep the map within a reasonable temperature is this one and this one. This one, like I said, space, and then we are going to have a fourth one over here for the farmhouse. Now, you might think that this is a lot of cooling loops, and you would be correct because they tend to consume a lot of power, but for example, this one is just going to be active to create the ice block that we are going to use, and after that is never going to be active like ever. It's going to be active like 3 seconds every 50 cycles. And this one, well, this one will be a little bit more active, but by the time that we use it, we have other means of producing power, be it solar or nuclear, and so the power will not be a concern. Now, my friends, when it comes to research, material research only is already done, all of them. I'm now going into the data analysis research because we have a couple of data banks. We actually got this one done. I just wanted to do these first 3, but the dupes actually got the data banks enough to do one research. Now I'm just going to do a few of them just to go and have these 3 researches done already, and once we have a rocket we will do the remaining ones, but you know, while this is active and oh yeah, another thing, first things first, while this thing is active, we should do all the researches that we can. Now, you probably remember watching and seeing a bunch of shine bugs all over the place. Yeah, I kinda noticed that the red bolt generator was killing them, because the red bolt would collide with the synth and it would die. So that probably wasn't the best of ideas. But in any case, my friends, I don't think we need mechatronics engineers to build solar panels, and if we do, we'll send them back. It is time to send our mechatronics engineer back into the planet, because she's needed there more than she's needed over here. Now run, Ada, run! No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I want you to come back because you don't have a suit. I don't want you breathing all of this yucky stuff. Now, my friends, in the comment section, one of you actually suggested the reason why this thing is not working. Because the white tiles over here are not covering the farm tiles. So, I don't think this thing can actually reach. It should be built over here, not over here. Okay, okay, time to fix this, time to fix this. Alright, my friends, so when it comes to glass, 100 kilos of sand makes 25 glass. So we need to see the cost of making a solar panel, which is 200 glass, which means we need at least 4 work orders per solar panel. However, we are going to make a little bit more. Here's the thing, I don't know if it was a bug, or if it has been fixed, or if I am doing something dummy, but usually when you output your glass into a pool of water, for some reason you'll lose a little bit of that stuff. Sometimes you get the full 25 kilos, other times you get like 18 kilos, I don't know. Something very weird. So we are going to ask a few extra work orders just to make absolutely certain that we have at least 400 glass available to us. And then we are going to ship it into the other planet, assemble those solar panels, and call it a day for the other planet. Once that is done, we are going to send the digger dupe, which is Gossman, back into our main colony, and Marie is going to stay behind to do maintenance on this colony, such as releasing the pressure on the oil wells, like she's doing right now, and stuff like that. You know, this colony unfortunately cannot be 100% automated, because this requires a dupe interaction. Oh, and we got our first surface breach alert. It was on this planet, not on the other one, but oh well. It's still an achievement that our dupes got. Their first peek into outer space from a completely different planet. Oh, by the way, my friends, my initial math was completely, like, I don't know. 10 times 25 equals 250, not 400 kilograms. I don't know. I'm sorry, my friends, but yeah, I kinda just realized, wait a second. That can't be right, can it? And then I realized, oh yeah, your math is wrong, as per usual. Poor Gossman, she's been sacrificed. Like, this is probably the most inhospitable work environment that she had to face yet, without a suit, of course. Not only is she exposed to the vacuum of space, but we are also asking her to dive into a pool of disgusting water with, well, a scary-looking fish inside of it. I don't know. I would refuse to do such a job, but Gossman is brave. In any case, Gossman, your sacrifice is greatly appreciated, because now we have the capability of building a small but life-saving solar array. Alright, my friends, so we have achieved solar power over here with these two thingies. Oh yeah, I forgot. They got nerfed. Let's see, what is the maximum power they are going to produce? We probably are going to need more than 2 solar panels. You know what? You know what, my friends, why not? We have 1,000,000,000 sand available to us, so let's say make me 50 work orders. That's probably enough. Okay, my friends, so we finally have a little bit of petroleum in our industrial area, which is fantastic. Now, we must transfer said petroleum towards the metal refineries. I can't remember how much do they take on fluids. For coolant, 800 kilograms. We might not have enough petroleum over here, or maybe we do. Who knows? Let's just do it, and then, oops. And then we'll see. So pretty much we are going to fill up this entire pipe first, and then we are going to connect these two thingies. We are going Hey, why did you stop? Okay, so here we go. I don't know why it stopped, but we are going to fill it up. Hopefully it's not going to continue. Just to make sure, let's use the pliers mod. Let's fill it up completely. And then what we do, you will see. Let me just fill it up first. There we go. The thingy appears to be completely full. Now we disconnect it, right? And we go over here and we connect this one. And as we can see now, that thing is empty, so now we go like this. Unfortunately, we built insulated pipes over there. We need to replace them with granite pipes, because this is a part of the cooling loop for the industrial area. I'm just reusing the pipe while it's not being used, right? So please don't do anything. I will now monitor the filling up of the metal refineries, and soon, well, we'll be able to open our industrial area up. And there we go, all the refineries are now filled up, so we go like this, and now we need to empty this pipe, right? Well, that's why I built it like this. We connect it like so, cancel this, and now, okay, we just need to do this first, I said, prevent any more petroleum from getting into the system, and now this thing is being emptied out. And one more packet. There we go. Now we can reconnect the cooling loop, like so. Deconstruct that. And bam! Everything is empty, and as it should be. I can tell you one thing, my friends. After I'm done with this thing, my next priority will be this thing and this thing. Like, I'm constantly on the knife's edge, and I don't like it. It's we are far too deep into the game to be worrying about such a problem. So yeah, I think I kind of want to make this my priority. This and this my priority next. We just need to have. How the hell did we got polluted the water in there? I just need to get my industrial area operational so that I can get all the materials that I need, like without thinking too much, and then just go straight at it. Well, I might even try to seal the fridge today. Try, that's the important word in this sentence. Alright, my friends, so the solar array has been upgraded and our food situation over here is not the best. So we are going to send Gosman back. The work over here is done, so she can go back for now. We are just going to do the maintenance part of depressurizing these things, so I'm pretty sure that these calories will be enough for the mealwood to be completed in time, so I'm pretty sure we'll be okay. Teleport, Cosman. Bye-bye. Back into the other colony you go. where the situation is not the best either, but at least we are slightly better over here. Yeah. I've been kinda like monitoring. How should I put it? I've been balancing this number by the number of millwood thingies that I have. Uh, once it drops below 100,000, I build a little bit more. Once we go above 200,000, I delete them. I just don't want to have a bunch of mill lice laying around. We are kinda getting into the berry sludge stage very soon, so I really want to, you know, try to be as precise as possible. Alright, my friends, so this part is, well, it's pretty much done. We can kickstart it whenever we feel like it. We still don't have the aqua tuners ready, but guess what? That's because we just don't have the fluids ready. We are going to use polluted water as the coolant for the cooling loop in the industrial area. We just need to fill it up with as much as we can. There we go. After we get the water rolling, well, this thing is pretty much done, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we just need to connect that wire, and we're ready. Which means we can move on to other things. Like this, for example. Like I said, I kind of want to give it a try. But before we go there, as we can see, this is the basic part, basic start in our industrial area. We will then expand it as need be. This is just the bare necessities. We are going to transfer the work orders from this rock crusher into this one, which is pretty much transform everything into lime. This thing, a petroleum polymer presser, uses petroleum to convert it into plastic. Like, to be honest, I am not going to use it. It's that simple. But it's still there, just in case we need a bunch of plastic really soon. This thing is to contain the steam will immediately evaporate into water. If I recall correctly, through the high pressure gas vent, through this part comes the carbon dioxide. The steam is released into the environment by the polymer presser itself. And so, because this is relatively cold, it will condensate and end up over here. This is just to avoid a massive mess all over the place. Not only that, that water will eventually help out, keeping the polymer press cooled off. Yeah, that's why it has this strange design. We will add the rails later on, but pretty much this is the bare bones stuff. Next, we have the glass forge over here that will output the glass into a metal tile. The metal tile is on top of the cooling loop. It is going to be relatively cold all the time, which means the glass will also chill out pretty quick. So that's the reason why we have that metal tile over there. Now, moving on to other things. The fridge, very, very important. We need to seal it off before we can vacuum it. Now, like I said, we are going to use ethanol and petroleum. I should technically go to my previous playthrough and see which fluid, which one of these is on the bottom and which one of these is on the top. But because I don't want to do that, because that would be technically, well, it would not be cheating, but it will almost be. I'm just going to go with my gut instinct, which is petroleum technically is heavier than ethanol, therefore should be on the bottom. Technically speaking, we are about to find out. Okay, so here comes the petroleum. I will have to slow down for this as much as I can because I just want a little drop, and that first drop is going to be a massive amount of petroleum, so come on. Stop! As we can see, there is already a little bit of petroleum being dropped, so we'll go like this, and there we go. So, not a lot of petroleum was spilled. That's nice. Okay, so, now my friends, very important, you can only do mop errands right there and right there. Reason for that is this mop errand is going to sweep not only this tile but the tiles adjacent to it. So if you go like this, you are going to mop this tile of petroleum, and you don't want that. So you have to avoid doing this and mop only in these two tiles over here. Alright, so as we could see, those two tiles were cleaned. Now we are going to request the ethanol, and fingers crossed this works as intended, otherwise I will have to redo the process. And it is going to be a mess. Now, I know there is better methods of doing this. It's just that I cannot implement them over here, otherwise I would then end up with petroleum in my water tank. I did not think about this before I built the murder pit, as you probably can imagine. Okay, so ethanol incoming. Let's try to be very gentle with this. Okay, I don't know if one drop is about to drop or not, but I suppose we are about to find out. No, come on, I was too fast. Round number 2, go! And... Stop right there. Stop. Don't even dare drop a single thing extra. Okay. Okay, so, this is going to be interesting. We have a drop of ethanol over there. That because of what we spoke before, we can't really mop it off of the floor. We can either hope that by vacuuming this thingy, it will help the ethanol flow better into this tile so we can clean it out later, or we'll have to be like ultra careful because we have 300 grams of petroleum in here. God damn it. That was... Okay. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Oh, my friends, finally, I think I got it. Please don't go crazy on me. Don't go crazy on me. Okay, I think it has stabilized. Oh boy, it's probably like the 3rd time that I'm trying, but still, god effing damn it. Oh, it's always very, this part is very nerve-wracking because this is very, very finicky. And once again, I know there is far better methods of doing this, but this is my lazy method. Now we just go over here and select ethanol, and we go over here and select petroleum, so that the tubes remove all of this garbage from the freezer, and we can finally start to vacuuming it out. Alright, so vacuum was achieved very quickly. It's time to go over here, deconstruct this, and start setting up the hydrogen first, and then the radiator inside of the fridge. Alright, my friends, so now we are using the canister emptier to fill this room with a bunch of hydrogen, and a bunch of hydrogen we have. This is the first bottle, by the way, and we already have a lot. Cool. Okay, so that means we can move on to the next stage. How are we going... I'm sorry, guys, I had to stop talking because there was a loud motorcycle on the street. In any case. So, we need a something to use as coolant, quote-unquote, in this case it's going to be a gas, for our fridge. That something, guess what, is going to be hydrogen. Why? Because it's convenient. We have hydrogen right here. Hydrogen is a good gas to use as a good, quote-unquote. It's the best gas that we have available right now, handily. For example, I believe I have oxygen somewhere around here. Let's take a look. Oxygen, right? Because we have an oxygen line right here, it would be simple to fill up this cooling line with oxygen. Unfortunately for us, oxygen has a specific heat capacity of 1 plus a thermal conductivity of 0.024, right? That means you need 1 unit of heat to make the oxygen go up by 1 degree, I'm pretty sure. Next is the hydrogen, right? So let's take a look at the hydrogen. And there we go. This means you need 2.4 heat units to make it go up by 1 degree, which means that when you turn it down by 14 degrees in the thermoregulator, you delete more heat. Not only that, the thermal conductivity is far superior at the 0.168, which means it's the best gas for the job. Now, in order to do that, we are going to have to do some magic with the pipes. First, let's turn on the mini pump, and then let's take a look. At the pipes. So, yeah, we have our bypass over here, right? Usually this would be a zigzag, but we cut the line right there, and we unite it over there so that the pump can input the hydrogen into a line that goes into the main line in a junction, because if we just like do this, for example, the pump will stop pumping because there is already hydrogen in the line. As you can see, the pump has stopped. However, if we go like this, and then we go like this, and let me cancel this before any dupes decide it is a good idea to come over here and build stuff, the pump can work, and eventually these puffs will be completely full. Once everything is full, we just disconnect everything, delete the pump, and this cycle will be ready to go. Alright, my friends, the line has been completely filled up. Well, not completely, there is one tiny little packet over there. I kinda want to leave a little bit of flexibility in the line so that it doesn't stop or goes, you know, slowly. So yeah, that's why that packet over there is not completely full. Now let's deconstruct this and deconstruct this. We got over 4 kilos of hydrogen, which is more than enough. Should any food rot in here by accident, for example, it won't off-gas polluted oxygen until we remove it from there. So I think we have a more than enough quantity of hydrogen inside of our fridge. Now we need to turn on the thermal regulator and we need to set up proper automation. Alright, and what is proper automation, you might ask? Well, two sensors actually. Let's go into the automation menu. So we have these two sensors. One sensor is going to monitor the temperature of the freezer, and another sensor is going to monitor the temperature of the coolant. We don't want the hydrogen to go super cold on us, because let's say, for example, we are going to set up the temperature of the freezer to be... Let's say we want the system to be active when the temperature goes above minus 30? Wait a moment, we need to figure out which is the temperature where things freeze. Let's go and select something that is not liquid, for example, line slough. Deep frozen temperature, minus 18, okay? So that's probably the temperature that we kind of want to achieve, below that, of course. So let's say minus 25 is the temperature that we want inside of our freezer, so that we have a little bit of wiggle room, right? So whenever the temperature goes above that, the system should be active. However, the system should only be active if the coolant is not... Okay, so the coolant should not be above, let's say, minus 35 for now, because you have to remember if the packet is at minus 34, it's going to be cooled off by 14 degrees, so yeah, let's not make a minus 50 or something crazy like that. So, the temperature is going to be green, meaning the system is going to be active if the temperature goes above minus 35. So now... both things should be requesting the thermoregulator to work, and the thermoregulator... I forgot to build that thingy over there. Okay, let's just wait one more second. And there we go, the thermoregulator is now working. Whenever the thermoregulator is working, there is one little packet that gets stuck in there. That tiny little packet that we spoke before, but as you can see, the system works perfectly without hiccups. And now we should be... Oh no, what is... wrong? Unpermitted food? Meal lice? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Now that that little distraction is taken care of, as you can see, we have already very cold hydrogen inside of the radiant thingy, and the temperature should start... Oops, that's not what I meant. Here we go. The temperature is now dropping rapidly inside of our freezer. As we can see, the hydrogen is dropping really rapidly. A lot of R's in a small sentence. So yeah, pretty cool. So now our freezer is technically functioning. We are not going to transfer our food there just yet. I think I'm going to leave that for future me to do. But yeah, at least this is now done. Now, my friends, when it comes to opening up new systems, well, our cooling loop could be active right now if we want it, so why not? Let's connect these pipes. We already have plenty of fluids inside of that, and now we just need to see what the hell is wrong with this thing. Oh, yeah, there is nowhere for the water to go. Okay. I built a bypass wrong. Oh boy, why do I do these kinds of things to myself? So yeah, it would not be a proper base manager moment if I did not build the aqua tuners backwards. So yeah, and I did the same mistake on both of them. So yeah, let's just fix that rather quickly. And luckily for us, there was no steam inside of that chamber. I was almost tempted to get these things rolling, but for a moment, you know, the cautionary part of me said, you know what? It would probably be better if... oh, come on, I built everything backwards now. Ah, I hate when I do these kinds of things to myself. Okay, so, in the nick of time, I'm just yellow alerting in this so that we can get it done before the end of the episode. That was a dum-dum on my part. So the fix was not getting the aquatuner backwards, because everything was already built on this setup. It was just sending the bypass towards the other side. Well, that was probably easier to start with. I just panicked a little bit. You know, panic is never your friend. In any case, now, you can see, the cooling loop is working. All that we have to do... Bam, there we go. So now we should have cold fluid going through there. If I can set this one up properly, it's going to send a green signal. If above... first and foremost, let's just cancel that. If above, let's say, I don't know, 18 degrees. 18 degrees is good enough because it's going to be cooled off to like 4 degrees, so... Cool! Cooling loop also active, which is just fantastic, which means we actually achieved... I don't even remember what was today's objective, my friends. I have been recording this episode in little chunks, so the first time I started recording this was a little while ago, and I can't remember what I said. Oh well, I'm pretty sure that we have achieved whatever we have set up to do, because this thing is ready and beautifully done. We can now start pumping materials at a industrial pace, which means we can deconstruct these two things over here without any issues and focusing on what truly matters, getting some proper food in our bellies, because, well, our dupes have been going by with just... well, let's say crappy stuff. The barbecue is nice, but most of the time they are eating linksloaf. So, we need to provide them with better alternatives, such as berry sludge and bristleberries to make... Well, the bristleberries can be made into both the berry sludge and sleeping on the job, I see. And the other stuff, the cooked variant, if we don't have enough going around. So... Oh well, I suppose that future meal will see. This thing is getting within the temperatures it needs, as we can see, minus 27 degrees. The second we send some food going this way, it's going to be pretty frozen almost instantaneously, which is just fantastic. And yeah, pretty sure most of the stuff that we needed are done. We just need to keep on the momentum and building more and more. But with all of that said, my friends, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode and that you are enjoying the series so far. If you are, please consider subscribing and help the channel grow. But in the meantime, this is the Base Manager signing out. Bye bye.